You tuned in to the Rainbow Affair magazine exclusive with your editor-in-chief. DiamondKesawn. Tune in and catch up with all things RAmag at www.rainbowaffairmagazine.com.
Along with the YouTube beats, the other thing I've noticed is a lot of rappers, I think, will experiment trying to find themselves first by almost parroting what they hear on the radio.
Yeah.
So we touched on musical individuality, I think, you know, like in a production way. Could we touch on that as far as like rap goes and singing and lyrics?
Well, I think nowadays it's pretty much about your delivery and what you're talking about. Like, when you always know when you hear Kanye, because he's always saying something crazy and he might scream. You know, he might like be real aggressive, or he might just do, you know, something really cool with his voice, or like Young Thug. You know, Thug is like one of my favorite artists. I think he's amazing. You know what I mean? I think what he does is amazing, right? But he's so he's so himself. He doesn't sound like anyone else. People may compare him to Future or to Rich Homie or this or that, but Thug is his own artist, because when you listen to his music, it sounds like him. It doesn't sound like nobody else. You know what I mean? He's got a high-pitched voice. He can go down here. He can scream. He can whisper. He can do anything. He can rap. He can sing. You know what I mean? Drake, same thing. When you hear them, you know, because they come with the bars. They come with that swag. You know, like, you just know. So being an individual in this industry is pretty much all you have. You know, if you're thinking about getting into the industry, then remember that you must be original, because there's people that did this before you, a lot of them, and they were very successful. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What's up, man?
Have you worked with Frank Ocean?
I've never worked with Frank Ocean. No, I would love to. I think he's amazing. Drake, soon. I'm gonna work with Drake soon. Yeah. I never worked with Wayne, no.
Who's at the top of your wish list, though?
Well, like, people that I've been around my whole life that I pretty much want to start working with are like Pharrell. You know, like, I've been around Pharrell my whole life. Usher is like my big brother, you know, so me and Usher making some new music. I really want to work with some legends. I don't know if you guys know who like Lenny Kravitz is, you know, but I want to work with like some real legends, man. You know, people that, you know, when they see me, when you kids see me standing next to a rock star, it's different than me standing next to a rapper. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? That just has a different effect. So I want to work with people who have had success before, and new people that want to learn. You know, you'll find some new artists out of me, and you'll find me standing next to some people that you know, Khaled, Usher, you know, people that you know, so. Yeah.
Now, given that you come from a successful family,
yeah, we haven't really talked about my background.
Yeah,
I was gonna let you go there first, buddy.
Oh, well, I wanted y'all to just pull it out, because I'm shy.
Yeah. Well, being that, they might not know, but being that L.A. Reid is your father,
Yeah.
being that even you have a famous mother, like, you've been around some of the legends and grew up in the game, like, what is the best advice that you got?
Man, honestly, be myself. Like, I can't compare to what my family has done. I can't compare to my dad or my mom. I can just be me. I'm not trying to live in nobody else's shoes but my own, right? And like, also my family never forced me to do anything. They never were like, you have to make music, you have to be this way, you have to do that. Like, they pretty much gave me the freedom to figure out what I wanted to do, you know? And when I figured it out, I nailed it. And I think now, I'm at the point now where I'm carrying all my family's legacy just from talking to kids like you know, because you kids are gonna remember this, and one day you're gonna be like, man, I remember when Aaron Reid spoke to us, you know, at our school, and it's like, those moments are the moments that I care about. You know what I mean? Because I'm creating my own legacy, you know? Yeah.
So have you found it hard to like break away from that, like from just outside people that don't really know you, but they know that you're L.A. Reid's son.
Yeah.
And your mom. Have you found it hard to like break away from being seen just as that?
Yeah, they'll never let me go of that. Right, I'm sure of it. But I'm also sure that I'm never gonna stop doing what I'm doing. So as long as I'm adding to it and not taking away from it, we good. Like, I'm proud of my legacy. I'm proud of what I come from. You know, I'm not ashamed of it at all. If anything, I'm standing up like, yo, I'm Aaron Reid. Like, my family has done great things before. I have time on my hands, right, where I can make my own noise. You know what I mean? So, man, I don't even let that stuff affect me, honestly. Like, there's so many haters, so many people that don't want to see you win, right? Shout out to Khaled, because it's so true. Like, people don't want to see you win. They really don't, you know? And when you win, it's like, you know, there's certain things that just happen in life. Like, it's God's favor, like timing. Like, there's just certain things you can't touch. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah.
Do you name some artists that was in LA Reid's?
That we worked with before? Yeah. So my dad and my mom were responsible for signing Outkast, Usher, Pink, Tony Braxton, TLC, Sierra, Avril Lavigne, Whitney Houston. My dad's worked with Michael Jackson. He's worked with the greatest of all time: Kanye West, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Young Jeezy, Neo, Rihanna. You know, the list just goes on and on and on. We've been, my family's been influential in music for over 30 years, and now we're still on the charts. You know, Travis Scott, Antidote, Future, and Drake, we still moving. You know what I mean? Like, we have so much time, and I'm only 26. Like, I'm young. I'm not 16 anymore. When I was 16, I was on television. Right, so kids already knew who I was, but they knew me for being someone else's son. They didn't know me for being a musician or being me. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's different. Like, it's dope. We got time. You guys have time. Everybody in this room has time to be great. You know what I mean? Because you guys are young. You guys are young, and you experience things quicker than your parents did. Things happen quicker for us now. You know, so everybody has time to be successful. That's how I look at it. You know? Yeah.
You said you used to work with Travis Scott, right?
Yeah, I still work with
Travis.
Travis.
You said he was his A&R?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened with that? You said you used to...
Well, what happened was, to be honest with you, me and Travis are friends, so I wanted to keep that relationship. And also, he got to a certain point where he needed somebody that could be with him every day and really, like, because I know how demanding it can be, and Travis is one of the greater artists where he needs someone to really, really be with him all the time and to make sure that, you know, everything is going well, you know. And I just have other things on my plate that I couldn't, you know, be that person, you know. But he's still family, you know, just like Future. Like, I was working with Future when he was doing Magic, and like when Pluto came out, and then, you know, he started doing this thing, I started doing my thing, you know what I mean? So it's like, but we still family, you know, Dungeon family is epic, you know. Yeah. Any other questions?
When you produce, do you go by a different name?
No, just Aaron Reid, yeah. I want everybody to know my name, like, more so than my family's name. You know what I mean? Like, you hear one of my songs, like, you hear guitars and you hear, you know, when it sounds different, when it sounds like, wait a second, this is hard, but it don't sound like stuff that I've heard the last 3-4 years. I want that to be the feeling that you get from my music. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just Aaron Reid, just my name.
What advice would you give up-and-coming rap artists, producers, musicians?
Advice. Like I was saying before, just be original. Be as original as possible. Like, you know, you're obviously gonna listen to what you listen to, you know, but when you come back to your own music, don't be influenced by others. Just like in life, like, you shouldn't be influenced by others. You should always make your own decisions. You know what I mean? So don't ever let anyone tell you what they think you should be doing. Well, I think you should be doing this kind of music, or you look this way, so you should be doing this. Like, nah, like do what you want to do. You know, do what you feel, you know, you should do. And if you're wrong or you should be doing something else, a professional will tell you that. Somebody who does this for a living will be like, well, I think you're better here and not there. I don't think you should be a soul singer if you're a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, stick to that. You know, so yeah.
Who has been your mentor? Who has been the person that you look up to?
My mom and dad have been my mentors since I was a kid, honestly. They've been some of my biggest inspirations. But then, like Pharrell and Usher, those are two of my biggest mentors. My godfather, who's like, you know, super legend, you know, in the industry. And Puff, even, who's like, Puff is my godfather, but he's like one of those like bougie godfathers, like what, you never really see him. You know what I mean? Like, he one of them dudes. So like, he's been one of my mentors. Like when I see him, like, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I got so many, you know. But really, what it is I like to take advice from people who have had success before, right? And a lot of kids, like a lot of producers nowadays, Metro, Sunny Digital, Southside, I know all these kids, they know me, you know, but I don't know what they do in their daily lives. I know that I speak to Tricky Stewart and Dallas Austin and, you know, some of the greater producers in the world. I speak to Pharrell. I talk to these people because I want to learn from them. Like, okay, yeah, this is cool, I like what y'all doing, but what about y'all? You guys sold 100 million albums. Like, how do I get there? You know, organized noise. Like, how do I, when I sit down with Rico,
I'm on that paper chasing, and that nigga in the way is gonna get erased. I'm